Hello everyone, Sagar this side. How are you guys doing?
Hi Sagar, good.
Hi,
And you?
Sagar.
Good,
Yes.
sir.
We're good.
Hi Sagar, we are good.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for joining. So guys, as usual, I spent first 2-3 minutes just for formal introduction. So myself is Sagar Dhawan, and I've worked on CCNP Devnet track, and I've trained more than 20,000 students globally. So my expertise in enterprise security, data center, and network automation. And recently, I'm doing a lot of project on automation like Ansible, APIs, and Python. So I've been training for last 3-4 years now. I've been more focused on the automation side nowadays. My skill set in automation is I have knowledge on Python, uh, Ansible, REST API, Jinja, GitHubs. Okay, so these are some skill set which I have as of now. So before you guys start introducing yourself, I want to know where do you come from, what's your background, and have you got any knowledge on Python or Ansible or API, any one of this. Okay, so that it will help me to fine tune this track, and I can start with very basic in case I find most of the audience are fresher, not from Python background. So it will help me to understand. Okay. So tell me your location, what you do, and do you have any prior experience on Python, Ansible, or API, or no, nothing? Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to unmute yourself. Who wants to go first?
Hi Sagar, this is Preeti and Preeti Singh. I have just knowledge of CCNA and CCNP. I'm specialized in switching. I have done some accreditation projects, and right now, I have no knowledge of Python and any of these three. And I'm from New York, White Plains. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Preeti. How about the rest of the participant?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Lucien, and yeah, I have some experience in networking field, I don't know, CCNA and CCNP, and also I have some experience in Devnet field. I have Devnet certification, and yeah, from time to time I also write some scripts in Python, and I am interested in this let's say training. I want to see the first two demos, and after that we'll see if I
Okay.
yeah.
So what you been doing with Python coding these days? On what projects have you worked?
Some personal projects, and also I'm trying to automate a lot of repeatable tasks from my day-to-day job, like I don't know, configuring the same commands on multiple devices or things like this with NetMiko, Paramiko. I also used a little bit Yang with netconf and resconf for DevNet certification.
Okay, yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Lucian. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So who is going next, guys?
Hi Sagar, Ayushi this side. I'm from India and I have experience of in switching routing for overall 3 years. I'm working in TCS. To be honest, I'm new in Python field, so I'm eager to learn more in your session.
Okay, thank you.
Uh, Hi, Sagar. This is Soma, and I'm working as a network security engineer in US, and I'm looking forward to learning Python. I do not have any basics on automation, so um, I'm looking to learn something new that would help my career.
Okay, great.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Uh, I'm Albert M. Sambola from Liberia, and I got a basic knowledge in Python, but in networking, I got small little limitation in there, and I want to get more knowledge on Python while going on this program.
Okay. Great, Albert. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Sagar. My name is Mahroof. I'm from India, and I done my graduation in basic computer science, and I done a season routing and switching course, and I'm new in this field. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. My name is Vinod Jadhav. I'm based in UK. I got 10 plus years of experience in wireless. So I work on wireless technology for designing Wi-Fi implementation and all. I don't have any background on the automation, but yeah, I'm trying to learn that, and I think this course really, I'm interested to join in. So yeah, that's all about me.
Okay, sure.
Hi, Sagar. This is Rajeshwar from India. I have more than 10 years of experience in security. I'll be managing most of the firewalls like Fortinet, Palo Alto and all. I'm looking forward to learn automation on these configurations and all. But I do not have any exposure on Python or Ansible or any other scripting tools.
Okay, no issue. So we will start from very scratch for someone who have never been into automation. So don't kind of be feel that you would be left out. Okay, so it will be from the beginning level itself. All right, guys. So let's have rest of Q&A at the end. I'll just place you guys on mute. Okay, so that we don't have someone coming up unmuted and break the flow. So a short note on this program. So first, as you most of you know that you may not be from the Python background. So first 1 week, I'll focus on the theory part. So this is where you guys will learn all theory with a basic examples. Okay. Once the theory is done, then I go and start with the Python modules. My first preference for my Python module would be NetMiko. Okay. Then from NetMiko, I go towards all rest of the things, Telnet, Paramiko. I go towards PyNTC, NEPAM, Nornia. So these would be from Python point of view. After Python syllabus, we will jump into Ansible. Okay, which is a best configuration management tool. So over here, I'll focus on YAML, Jinja, Ansible Tower, AWX, the dashboard view of it, and all Galaxy version of it. Okay, Galaxy, Vault, rest of all the Ansible things here. After Ansible, we will focus on the API part. So under the API part, I'll show you the REST API. I'll show you guys the XML API. Okay. And we will consider examples like Palo Alto, F5, XC, these as an example. And after API, I'll go with the Devnet syllabus, Devnet certification syllabus. So we cover the associate level 200901. And here you will be learning the Yang model, GitHub version control, some DevOps topics, software development kit. So all those theoretical topic could be here. So this usually take up to 2 months of duration. This time, this is going to be Monday to Thursday. And 10 p.m. India, I will start the batch and I'll wind up by 11 p.m. India. That's 1 hour only. And rest of 30 minutes on the same day, I'll reserve for the Q&A. Okay. So total together 1.5 hour, 1 hour for theory with the lab, and the next 30 minutes for the doubt clearing session or Q&A session. And it's a weekday, so I don't want to strain you guys. You might be in between your workplace, or might be early morning for you, late night for you, so it's only 1 hour per day. Okay, so that is what I need from you for next 2 months. And after 2 months, you can see yourself where you would be placed. You can start writing your program, you can tweak a program, you can plan your project, or you can bring some solution in your working environment. So that's after 2 months. Okay, so when you start on day one, you may not be good with Python, you may not know what is Ansible or API, but as soon as we find out this course, you will be in a place where you can write your own program. And how it works, I'll give you simple example. When I start with, let's say, classes on Monday, so it goes till Thursday. And when you have Friday, Sat, and Sunday, I give you some homework or assignment or project. You guys have to work on them, and then submit on our web portal. Our backend will evaluate it, and they will correct you in case you're making a mistake. So this is how we learn. Okay, we'll learn by writing the code, not just by watching someone writing the code. So you yourself will be writing on your own from the first week itself. So whatever I cover on the first week, based on that, we will give you some project, and you will start writing your code out of it. What all device we'll cover here? We'll cover iOS router switches. We will cover Cisco XC, XR, Palo Alto, FortiGate, FI LTM, some examples from Linux box, SD-WAN from Devnet topic, ACI from Devnet topic. These would be done on the Devnet lab. And rest of them we will give you on our remote server access. Okay. You can deploy some of them on your home lab, but that takes at least 16 plus GB. If you have some laptop with 16 plus GB, you can take our assistance on home lab setup. We will guide you on how to do it. Okay. So all that we can discuss later on as well, but let's come back to the topic. Okay. The topic is that what are the daily challenges that you see in your networking job role, and how do you tackle with that? How much time it takes for you? So I'll unmute for a couple of minutes once again. So feel free to just tell me what is the traditional method that you still use in your networking side. You all are network engineers, so some or the other you might be going through taking backup or something, running manual command or something. So just tell me the challenges that you face. Okay, later on we will find the solution for it. Just tell me what is the challenge that you are facing at the moment. So yes, I have unmuted. Feel free to unmute and let me know.
For example, implementing firewall policy on, I don't know, 100 devices or something like this without centralized management solution like Panorama or Forti Manager or things like this. It's a challenge.
Okay, so I can say that problem is to manage multiple device, right?
Yeah,
Not a centralized solution. Looking for a centralized solution so you can easily manage multiple devices like Palo Alto using Panorama automation, or FI using the FI dashboard, or FTD from FMC. Okay, a centralized solution.
Yeah. If you don't have budget for this centralized solution, Python script would be a great idea.
Okay, fine. Okay. Yes. What else? What else do you see in your traditional networking?
Yeah, hi, Sheetal here. As working in the LAN, means if any changes in the VLAN's perspective, always we have to log into the distribution switch and we have to search wherever we have to do the changes. Means distribution switch and then access switch, and then we have to search the machine MAC address and we have to do the changes. So
Okay.
if any automation in that case.
Okay. So I can say config push by checking the inventory, right?
Yes.
Okay.
One more thing from my end. This is Ahmed Khan. Sorry for interruption. Able to
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I can hear you. Go ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah. The pre-action items like nowadays, I am feeling that some of that attacks were not detecting by firewall, and sometimes some of the updates from Microsoft Windows CAP files, which can't be detected until unless the complaint is came from end user. At that time, we need to be pre-active on those things.
Okay.
For that purpose also we
So
can
you
use
want to raise alert, you
automation.
mean to say?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Pre-active means before the user get come to the with a complaint that this Windows update is not happening properly, like that.
Yeah, so it can
That's an
create
example
alert.
I'm saying.
It can create an alert. Okay. It cannot be acting as a proactive service for you. This is automation which you do in top of something. You can run them. You can run them in a periodic way so that it can figure out and then raise the ticket. Okay. So have you heard about the Cisco solution 1000i?
Yeah, I heard.
So yeah, so for you, this is the solution. Okay. Automation is something else. So don't think automation can be like for all the n uh, factors or n reasons. Okay. So some solutions are created for specifically for proactive monitoring or proactive scenario. But yes, when you have that 1000i, then you can automate with Python or API, and then you can whatever you want to send email or do whatever checks, you can do it. Okay, so that's a different thing. You need a solution first, then you will automate them. So let's come back to the challenges now. What other challenges that you see?
Yeah. The another challenge which I normally come across is about migration activities. So basically, vendor to vendor migration. Let's say there are customers who are migrating their infrastructure from, for example, Juniper to Cisco, or from Arista to Cisco, and that's where they face challenge because they have to do a lot of manual work in terms of converting configurations from one vendor to another and putting effort there, creating files, database, and it takes a long time when we do manually all the activities for the migration.
Oh, yes. So yeah, so that's a good point. So you can definitely cut down a lot of efforts there. Okay. So with automation, you can cut down a lot of things and write a script to upgrade as well.
Right. Then there is another which is about day two operation management, where we normally won't get a single source of truth where we get all the KPIs to be monitored on one single monitoring tool. So we have to log in into multiple, fetch the data, then put manual effort, collect that data, and create our own KPIs. So some devices or some management systems won't support like kind of other than SNMP, there is no other support in terms of fetching telemetry data or other KPIs. So it is really very traditional way of collecting data, polling to devices and fetching it. So it creates manual effort to
Yeah.
come out with the final KPIs.
Yes. So here is also a main factor why automation is introduced, or why you can learn automation and cut down this OPEX cost for your company. Okay.
Right.
Okay. What else do you think?
Probably the operating system for the devices, like software management, where we will have to create a repository and then create, download the new version of Cisco and then push it to devices. So sometime we will actually create FTP server, create repository, and fetch from there to the devices. So it takes a little bit longer time, and it has got manual efforts to execute those commands and all. So yeah, probably that's one of the use case where
Yeah,
automation.
so basically where you download FTP or SCP transfer, pre-checks, post-check, boot variable set, reload. So these all usually you do with the manual approach, but we can automate completely. You just run some script and it will just do all those things for you. And also you can generate the diff check report at the end, which will cross-check the pre and post and tell you what's working, what has been broken down the line. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So from config push, let's say if I say config push is also a major aspect. So what type of config push think that it's a traditional method and you keep doing them repetitively? If there was a way we could automate. So you can think from config push as well. What do you do normally with config push?
In a classical way, maybe copy paste, but there could be also a method to use DHCP with DHCP options and a sort of zero touch provisioning or something like that.
Okay. So have you guys ever created a complete network on your guys, those who are not trying to contribute, just be on mute. Okay. So any one of you have created on a network configuration where you work on the L3 gateway, L2, the policies and a lot of things to create a complete new
access list. We need to provide an access list.
Yeah. So what access all things we do?
Creating SVI. Sometimes we have to create SVI in Nexus and campus switches.
Yes. So you create SVI, which act as a gateway. You create all L2 path. You create all the policies.
Even access list. Access list. Correct. To denying low L2 access list should to be there as per the guidelines, security guidelines. Means this NIC. I'm not getting the exact sentence. Policies based, I mean to say security policies. We have to create based on SMB, stopping SMB, allowing some kind of SMB in L2 also, even if we have a server from firewall.
Yes, that's right. So that's one major part we do normally in config push. Okay. Let's say that how many of you struggle remembering the VPN config if you're making a site-to-site config between two different sites? So you know that IP, let's say you make a site-to-site IPsec VPN tunnel. So there are a lot of attributes and the phase, the timers, etc. Correct? So do you guys work on that? How do you remember the command? Or do you think if we could automate the process, it was much easier?
But the site-to-site changes between every element, no? Means even if a DR is there, it will be, the parameters will get changed, no?
Parameter has to be the same, then only VPN comes, right? So two sites should have the same parameter configured, otherwise the VPN will not come. So it's like on one side, if you're configuring AES 128, the other side also need to have AES 128, right? So
no, I'm saying about DC and DR concept. If we have a VPN connection towards DC, the same parameters will not be utilized at the time of implementation to VPN connection towards VPN DR.
Okay, but still there will be configs that you can automate, right? If it is not same, then there is a different aspect where you can prompt the user to input the config state.
Right? Okay, I got that. It means a little bit of the things like ECP and those things.
Yeah, so that is the major part there, right? ESP, the timers, etc. Okay, so when it comes to VPN, also when you do GRE tunneling, DM VPN, IPsec, there are a lot of parameters which keeps on asking. So we can automate by appropriately placing them. When it comes to PRIP, we can also make a dynamic approach so that it takes something from Excel or something. So think in this way. If you had Excel sheet maintained for that, and you put all the parameters, peer IP, etc., and just write one Python script, it will fetch all the details and it will configure on the respective devices. That's all. Okay. So you're storing somewhere in Excel sheet and reading it up. Okay. Have you ever done iOS upgrade?
Yes, Sagar.
Yes.
Okay. So when you do iOS upgrade, let me write some step. So you usually take a pre-checks of 10 to 20 commands. Then whatever file that you had downloaded from the Cisco website, you do a SCP transfer to your the Cisco disk 0 or flash 0. Then you will set the boot variables. Then you will go on the reload process. Okay, you will make necessary change on the config register if required. You will reload it. When the device comes up again, you will make use of the post check. Correct. So pre and post check. After that, on the same call, if you are on a call for that, you usually make a validation also. So tell me, what tools do you make use of to validate pre and post? How do you validate? You got the scenario, right? Very traditional method this is. Sorry?
First, we can validate with MD5 now.
No, I'm not talking validation of your iOS file. I'm talking about validation of pre and post report.
Traditional way to execute show command.
Yeah, so normally you go to device, make use of show command and see whether things are good. But what if the iOS upgrade was done on 20 of 93 series devices? And your change window is, let's say, 3 hour to 4 hour. So we cannot do it manually one by one, right? So I've seen some people making use of diff check. I don't know if you people know this tool. Might be you also make use of the same. So what people do is they put all the show command over here and they do the post check and then they click on the find difference. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any other way you guys might be using the pre and post?
Yeah, there are Notepad++ where you have this option.
Correct.
We can use Notepad++ and compare the old.
Correct. Yes, that's right. So Notepad++ also you can compare two files. But again, these are all manual efforts.
Excel also we can use.
Yes, you can use Excel also. You can use a simple Notepad also. But these are all manual work. It might work good with 1 to 5 devices. But when it is 20 devices, then it's little painful to do them manually. You would prefer having some automated solution. Okay. So today I will show you that part as your example for today's demo, that how would you create or generate a diff check report using Python. So we will run some pre-config report. We will capture some command like show IP, int brief, or might be show interface loopback, or some show VLAN ID. Then I'm gonna say I'll just put up what I'm gonna do. First, I will take the pre-check. So my pre-check will collect the VLAN information or loopback interface information. Okay, just might be 2-3 things we can see. After that, I will make some configuration change. I'll make some configuration change so that I can add some new VLAN and I can add some loopback. After that, I'll make use of a post check collection. I'll run the same command. Now, definitely the VLANs are configured and loopbacks are configured or deleted as per our step number 2. So fourth step is to generate the diff check report. We will see that how can we automate uh, this diff check collection. How can we check and we can close it in the call itself without going to notepad plus plus or any diff check side. You don't need to do manual job. You can just do it uh, over on the automation side. Okay, so that is one scenario which I will take up today. But again, as I told you, this is just a demo class. Don't be scared by seeing the number of lines that we are using in the script, because when I start, when from the day one, it will be just like 4 to 6 line, and then we keep on adding line by line and enhance any script. Okay, so whatever I'm showing you might be the script I showed on class 10 or 12 or something. So don't think that this is too much on day one. I'm not gonna stretch more on the script, but I'll just show you the example today, like how the automation can help you to automate a def check report for you. Okay, all right, so let's move towards the lab. Let me show you the lab first. These are some devices that I have. Okay, some devices in which are in my lab. These are Cisco Catalyst iOS devices. And what is the agenda? Agenda is that I take the pre-check report first for some command. I will make some config changes. Correct? Then I'll take a post check. Usually you do this thing, then you make use of that online converter or notepad plus plus to validate pre and post. But what I will do is I'll make use of the Python method to create a diff check report. So these reports are usually HTML files, which you can open on your browser. So you will click on them on those HTML file. It will open up on the browser and it will automatically have the pre and post for that device. So this way you can cross check if there is any changes done, because if there is any deletion, there is any modification, it will show in a red color. If there is all good, then it will show in green. The color variation are normally diff check you expect. So it will generate that kind of report. You don't have to take any report manually and copy paste or do those things. All right, so let me go to the software where I will prefer writing my script. So this is called PyCharm. Okay, this tool is called PyCharm. Again, you have a lot of alternatives. If you guys heard about Microsoft Visual Studio is a best alternative. Atom, Eclipse, PyCharm is one of them. Okay, that doesn't mean that you cannot write on this. You can do, but they do not have a better error detection. Okay, they don't have a pop-up option. So don't go with the Sublime or Notepad plus. You can prefer going with any one of this, a professional tool where you can write your Python script. Okay, so this is called as IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So this is giving you the base platform where you can write your Python script and you can execute it. Okay, so here is where it says that the base programming language is Python that I have downloaded. It can be anything, right? It can be Java also. It can be C or C++ also. So on which language am I writing? That your IDE should know. So you have to install first Python. When you install the Python 3.9, and when you open this PyCharm as IDE, it should recognize that your base program is 3.9. Okay, now you can write your program over on Python, because this is what the tool does. It will compile, it will debug, it can test. Okay, it can also give you the error detection. Let's say if I make some issues here, somewhere here, if I just say that I purposefully remove something. Okay, I just made some problem here. And as soon as I did that, my ID can sense it. It can say that there is some issue found. And it says that on line number so and so, it is expecting a comma at the end. Okay. So when I close that, that error will disappear. So this is what the professional ID does. Whereas Notepad and Sublime, you will have to find your own way to fix the issue. So as a beginner, don't go with Notepad plus or Sublime. Go with PyCharm or Microsoft Visual Studio. They also have a free community version. You don't have to pay and use it. They also got a community version for you. Okay, come back to the script. The script consists of 53 lines. Again, as I told, this is not the script that to be discussed on day one. When we start on day one, it might have only less than 10 lines. Okay, I promise that, less than 10 lines. Then we start adding up the line, and gradually when you discuss a real-time scenario, the number of lines also increase accordingly. Okay. So in short, I'll just explain what is this script going to do. I'm calling all my libraries. You can, from software side, you can just call it as header as well. Basically, header is where you call all the libraries. Now, what is library? These are packages that's available in the Python community. You have to download them if in case you want to use it. So where can I find some? So go to File, Settings, go to Python interpreter, click on this plus symbol. You will see a rough idea on how the package would look like. See, there are a lot of packages. There are a lot of libraries here. Okay. It depends what you want to use it. These are available. That doesn't mean that you will use all of them in one go. Whatever you need, you have to download. When you click over on that, there is an option to install them. Okay, there is an option to install them. That is how you download one by one. So let's say in my scenario, what did I do right now? So I have some package which I have already downloaded. So for me, the library that I want to prefer going with now is NetMiko library and Paramiko, which is acting as the SSH library for us. Okay. And some dependency that's always a package need. So whenever the package is built, they don't have complete A to Z components inside it. They usually call another library. So NetMiko will call Paramiko internally. NetMiko can call might be SCP internally. So it all depends. It's all about the developer's game. So you don't worry as of now on the first day. Let's see the beauty of automation first. After calling the header or after calling the module, over here, I have defined all my list of IPs. Now you might be thinking that this is a script. Where is the where is the list of IPs? So the list of IPs are here. So I've kept all my list of IPs on this notepad, and this notepad I'm keeping it somewhere in the C drive. See, okay, so somewhere I've stored it. That is what the path is put up here. I say that at this location, you can find my device IP. The Python, what it will do, it will open up the file, it will read it, and it will convert into list method. After the list method, it will make use of a for loop. Now, why for loop? Because I'm gonna repetitively run the checks on these devices. I don't want to put up something in this order. Device 1, take SSH, take show IP int brief, show clock, show IP route, then go to device 2, do the same activity. I don't want to do this because this will increase my number of lines. It might go to 500 lines then if I take it in this way. The best option is that we will make use of loop iterations. When the task is to repetitively do or trigger some command on the devices, then you can use some for loop iterations. Now what happens is when you go with for loop iteration, you will just set all the required thing like show IP in brief, show clock, let's say show IP route, whatever. And also you will mention on top of this all your devices, all device, and then you will put all the device here. Device 1, okay, device 2, device 3, and so on till all your 100 of devices. See now how you cut down your number of lines. Just with 6 lines, you're actually doing all these things that you would have done. This would have increased till device 100, right? So at least 500 lines you could have expected. So don't write unwanted lines in your script. You make use of for loop to just simplify them. That is what for loop and is being used here, line number 8. I take the connection, I initiate the connection using the function connect handler. There are a lot of print statements over here to see which device is being SSH'd, what device are we connected to. Once the connection happens, what I'm going to do is, as I told you, first I'll collect the pre-check. So pre-check I'm going to cover for these command. So if you see there, let me just increase the font size. Okay. So if you see the pre-check, I'm taking the pre-check for this command. Show VLAN ID, show run, loop back, show run, loop back 101, etc. etc. Okay. And here is where my pre-check is happening. So when I do the pre-check, I'm expecting that these files get saved here in the C drive with this as a prefix. For each device, the pre-report get generated in a text format. After that, as I told you, my second step would be that I'll make the configuration push. I'm making a configuration push. I'm saying no to loopback 100. I might configure, I might say no to router OSPF or something I configure or delete. This is my configuration change. Once the configuration is done, I'll take the post check. Once again, I'm running the post check on the same command. And once the pre and post is collected, I asked you what you guys normally do. You guys said you make use of Notepad and so and so. But I will not use any Notepad. I'll instead ask my Python script to generate the files for me. Okay. So this is being done. This line number 40 to 46 is the answer for your Notepad++ or Sublime or any diff check. Don't copy paste. Introduce this 4 to 5 line. It will bring you the HTML file. It will only do the pre and post check, and you just have to open and see whether it is showing you in a red color or a green color, because later on you have to tell this to the field engineer, whoever is in the call, whether change is good or on this device 1.1.1, the interface now looks to be down or protocol shows still to be on a converging side. So it is your call later on. So validation can be simplified. Okay. Okay. So what I'll do first is I'll just comment this. I'll just show you the traditional method. If I execute the script. Okay. So how do you execute any script? Right click on top of that file, and there is an option which says run. Okay. So when you run that script, you should see the backup. You should see the pre and post started generating. See. So if you have this file with you, you usually make use of the traditional method to do the diff check. You might copy paste, etc., etc. Okay, but we will automate this process. We will automate the process so it generates you the final file. Okay, so now you see here it says that it connected and it all successfully connected, generated you the pre and post check. If you just open up these file, so it will show you the output for them. See, output for show VLAN ID, output for show run interface loopback 100, output for loopback 1001, and etc. etc. Okay, if you just check with its post file, so you have a post on your right hand side and you have a pre on your left hand side. Now it's really, really difficult for anyone to, check this way for 100 of devices. That is why we decided, let's automate the process. I introduced a module called as a diff library. Okay, diff library. And I introduced these 4 lines. So let's see what is it gonna do. So let me uncomment them. Okay, I'm gonna also delete them because I want to show you from scratch how it works. And I'm gonna, okay, let's make some changes because these changes already would have happened, right? So let's say that now I'm configuring this. Let's say I want to delete this. Let's say I want to configure OSP of 100. Let's say I want to delete OSP of 101. Okay, some changes that I introduced so that diff report ultimately say that yes, these are the changes that it can find out. Okay, let me run. It will give you pre, post, and a diff report in a HTML file format. See, pre, post, and its diff check. Now it went to the second device. It collected pre, post, and its diff check. It will go to third device. It will collect pre, post, and it will generate its file. So it will take just 5 minutes for you to complete this on 50 plus devices. Okay, just 5 minutes, you have the report ready with you. Now, as a network engineer, you know your protocol. Okay, Python may not know what is protocol. It will just do the work for you. But since you are a network engineer, you have to open the file. And then you have the report ready. You have to tell what is working, what is not working to the field engineer. And he can go to the rack and cable it up, or might be he just help you to flash it. Okay, so this is how it works. So let's see what it is gonna tell us. So when it says output for VLAN 100, we had not made any changes. So pre and post should look good. Okay, both the same, no changes. We didn't add, neither we deleted. When it comes to 100, loopback 100, it wasn't configured earlier. Correct? It in the pre-report, it told me that invalid input. That means it was not configured earlier. But once I configured and I took the post collection, I can see the report. It says in green in the sense added something, made some changes. So there is the report. It says that, yes, this is the config which is done now. Now there is something in red. What is in red? Let's say that output for loopback. Okay, output for the loopback is not good, or might be it was configured. So if you scroll a bit, go a bit on this. See, earlier the config was present for loopback 101, but now you configured to remove it, right? So it says that it's removed. So this is how you will validate any changes. Think about iOS upgrade, or think about any migrations when you're taking a lot of data collections. This type of report helps you. Okay. So this is the example which I wanted to show you guys in today's demo. Feel free to ask any question if you have worked on Python scripting. If you have not worked on Python scripting, do not worry. We start from very scratch. Okay. So let me show you something. Okay. If I have to take something and build you a very, very basic script, how many lines that would look like. So let's say you want multi-device. So you have multi-device. Where is your credentials? Let's say you're reading it from external file. Okay. Then you have a for loop. You have the dictionary with you. Put them in a indentation blocks. And let's say you want to open up the SSH connection. So you say SSH123 equals to connect handler is your function. Define the keyword argument here. Since this is a dictionary pattern, you will go with the keyword argument. Then let's say you want to collect some data, fetch data equals to for which command. Let's say you want to take it for show IP int brief and you want to print this. Very simple script, 14 lines, which only does show IP int brief on all these devices, on all these 5 devices. Okay, so let me run the script. Okay, what is over here? Okay, send command. Okay, and then execute this. So you see that now your script is processing. It is giving you the result. It is fetching it from first device, then it fetch to second device, right? But you may not be properly having visibility on which output is this, what output is this, right? So just introduce some banners. You can say that I'll show you how do you add some banners on to make this look better. Okay, so we will say connecting to what? We will connect to device by device. So take that variable, keep it here. Similar way, if you want to put a banner when you're disconnecting, you can say that disconnecting from so and so. Okay, now rerun this. See, now it makes okay. So my print statement has to be tweaked. Okay, so I'll keep this line 16 before the disconnection banner. See now it says that it's connecting to so and so device. It is connecting to so and so device. It is fetching the output and it is getting disconnected from it. This is one device information. Then it goes to second device. It is fetching and it is disconnecting. So it makes more easier for you to read and understand. Correct? You can also take the backup very easily. You can just say here, taking a backup. Okay. You can say that create empty file first. Where do you want to create this empty file? You define the location of your choice. Let's say I want to create keep all my backup at this location. Okay, so I put this way. I say that this is a backup for the device. I will go with the appending nature, appending operation. Now copy the content, because this is an empty file. What content do you want to put it on that? So you say that I want to write this one, fetch data. Okay, and then close this file, because this is an empty file that you created via your script. You are supposed to close it. Now I run this. See the beauty, with just 2 clicks you will start seeing the backup happening. You have all the backup with you. You want to write more commands, more backup, you can do it here by adding some more lines. You want to keep this away, you want it to make it a real-time execution, do that. Enter the username for ABC. Let's say you don't want to store the password. Say that enter the password for so and so. Okay, now what happens is it will ask you for the username and password. See, enter the username. Let's say admin is the username, password is Cisco. It will fetch me. Enter the admin so and so, password is Cisco. So it is going to ask you every time. That is why I had hard coded on the script itself, so that it don't ask us repetitively and we can just demonstrate in the lab. But if in case you don't want, you can go with this option also. It will take the backup here. If you don't want the password to be revealed, do not worry, there is a module for that as well. You can say from get pass import get pass. This get pass is that module which will encrypt your password so that users or any colleagues of yours do not see them. Okay, but there is a trick here. You have to enable some option on the tool as well. Otherwise, the get pass module will not be recognized. So now let me run this. It says enter the username, let's say admin. Now I'm typing the password, but you are not able to see that because that's encrypted. I press enter, you see the backup will happen. Similar way, I say admin and I type my password Cisco. You will not be able to see that. If you see here, because the password is encrypted, that is what the get pass module does. And if I press enter, it will take the collection. Okay, so these are all the tricks that you will learn when the class will start. So on just a demo class, I cannot show you entire portion. It's all day wise that we will be discussing. Here is the website of ours where the complete curriculum is placed. Okay, so if you go to the outline, we have altogether 20 outline, 20 modules. The topic that I took today was from, let's say, something from here and something from advanced topic, just to show you that what all things are coming on your way. But when we start something on the day one, we will start with the very basic thing, and not from this module. In fact, I'll start from this module 16, which is the theory topic, because I understood from the introduction that you guys are not familiar with Python. So we will have first 1 or 2 weeks dedicated for only theory point of view. So we will learn the theory with a basic explanation and example. Then we will move towards the NetMiko module. We will start from here. And when I write this, again, it would be maximum 6 to 12 lines initially, but at the end of that, might be you can expect going till 100 line. As the complexity increases, the day by day, as we start replicating a case studies, then gradually the lines will also increase. But to reach this, definitely you might have finished 10 to 15 classes. You might have done easy 10 basic to intermediate script building yourself. Okay, so it's not a day one game. It goes class by class. At the end of 2 months, 2 month, 2.5 month is where you will expect yourself to come in a place where you see yourself writing the program or something. Okay, so all the case studies and all detailed portion is put up here. You guys can also check this out. And the Devnet syllabus that I would cover from certification point of view is this 200901. This is going to be the whole blueprint that I will be covering up in the 4th module. Okay, so as I put up here, Python, Ansible, API, and Devnet. Okay, so together 4 modules that we cover. And it's basically today and tomorrow is a demo class. The actual class will start next Monday. So if you are enrolling, you can enroll this weekdays batch. For weekend, you have to wait. I might start in the August. I do not have any confirmed date as of now. But every month I start one weekdays and alternatively weekend. So those guys who are taking weekdays can take this and also can jump to weekend or take both at a time if you have enough time. Okay, we offer free retake. We give you the lab access. Those guys who want to check the lab, let me show you some lab topology. So this is one lab that we have, and we also have one Ansible lab. Let me show you that. So this is Ansible lab. Over here, we have Palo Alto F5 and the rest of the vendors, we have kept it here. Okay, Arista, Junos, ASA firewall. And for SD-WAN ACI, I will be using the Devnet lab, sandbox lab. Okay. And for API, Postman is the application which I'll take up in the class. Okay. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask me any doubt. So if you're good, we can wind up for the day. Just go ahead, guys. So guys, for pricing, lab details and all, just reach out to my backend. The backend have given you the email ID with the WhatsApp ID. So just text over them, or I'll keep the contact file ready on the screen. You can take a quick snap of it so that you can contact us. Okay, so that email ID you can also reach, or whatever is put up on the backend. Yes, go ahead. So someone had some question.
Sagar, you showed something about ACI. Does it cover Palo Alto also?
Yes, Palo Alto examples I'll show for Python and Ansible, also API.
Okay.
I showed you this lab, right? This one.
Yeah.
So this is a Palo. Might be tomorrow's demo. I'll show you some examples for Palo Alto itself. Okay, like writing some VR or adding policy. I'll show tomorrow in the second demo.
Okay.
By the way, how was the diff? How was the diff check? Did you guys enjoy that? Do you think automation can really bring down your manual efforts?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's really easy work for us to take a backup. On daily basis. I have to take more than 40, 40 devices backup like that.
Okay.
Network devices.
Yeah.
So it's great to learn about that. If I did this one in my jump PC, which is in a management.
I'll show you another
device.
script sometime in the class for this backup also. Okay, where you can run the periodic backup without any human intervention. It will be keep on running in the backend. It will collect. Let's say you have set the condition every Friday 6 p.m. It will go ahead and do the job itself without you to be present there. I'll show you all this case studies. All are included in our syllabus.
Yeah, I got that. If I did this commands in my jump PC, that's the same I'm saying. That's in management VLAN, so it will be easier for me not to go and run it on weekends like that. So I can deploy this. Then after a view on that, is it took that or not? That's a 5 to 15 minute job. Then or else I have to spend like 1 hour, more than 1 hour.
Sure. Yes.
That's great. Thank you.
Sagar, I had a question. So are we going to cover the REST API, the RESTful API as well, and what's going to be the extent of it?
Yes, we are going to cover the REST API. So is that your question, or what exactly you want to ask there?
No, just in general. I just wanted to know if we're going to be covering REST API, because that seems to be most of the products that are out there, they seem to be supporting the API for the REST. So I just wanted to know if that's
we are gonna do it here in the third module. So third module is completely dedicated to your API knowledge. Okay, how HTTP header work, what is API key, how you initiate any connection, how you configure, what is payload, how you generate the Python script for an API. So this all will be covered in the API module.
Okay, perfect. And that's done over the Python, or that's a different language or something?
First on Postman, second I'll show on the Python as well, because most of enterprise use both method. They can go with the Postman calls or post calls, or you have to also convert into Python and execute this.
I see. Okay, perfect. Thanks.
All right, so guys, for tomorrow's agenda, I'm gonna show you guys some. Let's take Palo as an example because this is the most happening technology. So I'll show you some use case studies here. I'll show you the Python method and might be some API examples here. Okay, along with that, if time permits, I might show you some FI, LTM, VIP config over APIs. And also I will spend some time to show you the Ansible tower in case if you are never on Ansible. So this is also very happening thing. Yes, Alex, for GitHub, they're all part of DevNet syllabus. Okay, so I'll show you what are the different manual operations in the Git and how do you create your own repository, how the version control happens. All this will be in the DevNet. Here I don't cover ACI. Okay, this is not for ACI. For ACI, we have another dedicated batch. This is a Python Ansible automation. So if you're talking from technology perspective, then yes, there are some examples where I'll show you the Ansible and the API for ACI network automation. But this is not going to be the in-depth ACI class. It's just the examples that we will see for ACI, SD-WAN, XC, Meraki, these kind of examples. Okay, we are not going to get into the technology. We will see it from the automation side only. So any question, guys? Any further questions? The contacts are put up. What you need to do is you guys need to reach the backend, and as I told you, the batch is starting next Monday. So there is a limited seat every batch. We take just very limited 10 to 15. So whoever comes first, they get occupied. You have to wait for the next batch then. Okay. All right. So I think I'm good from my side.
Is it a CCI level or what level is this?
So this is a industry real-time approach. Okay, we are covering the 4th module as a CCNA associate program.
Okay.
All right, guys. So let's meet tomorrow on the same bridge. And as I told you, I'll take you guys over on the Palo Alto automation and might be some other case studies I'll show you to you. Okay. Guys, cost and all those things just put across on our email ID or WhatsApp and they will guide you. All right, have a nice day and take care, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Sagar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sagar.
Thank you so much for support.